There's a rule most parents repeat so many times it stops feeling like a warning. It starts to feel like background noise. Go to sleep, it's late. Nothing good happens after midnight. We roll our eyes, we pull the blanket over our heads, we grab our phones. Lucas was 13 years old, he was a Roblox player, and he learned the hard way that some rules exist because someone, somewhere, already paid the price for breaking them. Lucas lived with his mom in a mid-sized city. Nothing special about the neighborhood, just rows of houses, a corner store, a park 2 blocks away. He was the kind of kid who didn't cause trouble at school, got average grades, and came home every day to spend 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours in Roblox. Hobbies, tycoons, roleplay servers, it didn't matter what the game was. What mattered was that his friends were there. His mom worked evening shifts at a hospital. She left at 6 p.m. and came back around 2 a.m. She trusted Lucas to eat, shower, do his homework, and be asleep by 10. Lucas was asleep by 10 on paper. In reality, he was under his blanket with his phone playing until 1, sometimes 2 in the morning. He'd been doing it for months, nothing had ever happened, so he stopped thinking of it as something risky. That was his first mistake. The Wednesday, school the next day. Lucas had stayed up until almost 1 a.m. finishing the Roblox OBA with his online friends. When he finally put the phone down, he realized he was thirsty. He got up, walked down the dark hallway to the kitchen, poured a glass of water. Normal. Boring. Then he looked out the kitchen window. The street outside was empty. The streetlight on the corner was flickering slightly the way old ones do. And there, just at the edge of the light, standing completely still, was a figure. Lucas froze. It wasn't someone walking home. It wasn't someone with a dog. It was a silhouette, just standing there, facing the house, facing his window. He stood there for what felt like 5 minutes, staring at it. It didn't move. He told himself it was a shadow, a bush, a garbage bag someone left on the sidewalk. He went back to bed. He didn't sleep well. 2 nights later, same routine. Phone under the blanket, Roblox until past midnight, then thirsty, then kitchen. He didn't want to look out the window, but he did. The figure was there again, same spot, same stillness, same posture, slightly hunched, like someone leaning forward just a little, watching. This time Lucas noticed something that made his stomach drop. The streetlight wasn't flickering anymore. It was completely off, and the figure was still visible barely, like it was somehow darker than the darkness around it. Lucas backed away from the window slowly. He locked his bedroom door. He did not drink the water. He told himself he was tired, that he was seeing things, that it was just someone standing outside minding their own business at 1 a.m. on a quiet street. He told himself that, but he started sleeping with the hall light on. The next day, Lucas mentioned it in his Roblox group chat. He tried to make it sound casual. Bro, I saw this weird person standing outside my house at 1 a.m. last night. Creepy, right, lol? One of his friends, a kid named Danny who lived in another state, responded immediately. Dude, that's not normal. How many times? Twice, Lucas typed. Danny went quiet for a moment, then my cousin had something like that happen. He kept staying up late and started seeing someone outside. His dad called the police. They found footprints in the garden right under his window. Lucas put the phone down. He looked at his window. The curtain was slightly open. He closed it completely. And for the first time, he thought seriously about what had been happening. He promised himself he'd sleep early. He really did. But a friend invited him to a limited time Roblox event that was only available that night, and he told himself, just 1 hour, just until midnight. It was 1:30 a.m. when he put the phone down. He didn't even mean to look at the window. He was just walking past it to get to the bathroom. The figure was closer, not at the corner anymore. Not at the edge of the streetlight. It was on the sidewalk directly in front of the house, maybe 15 meters from his window, standing in complete stillness. Lucas could not make out any features, no face, no clothing details, nothing, just a shape, a human shape that was somehow wrong. The proportions slightly off, the stillness too complete. like something that had never learned how people are supposed to stand. He ran to his room. He called his mom at work. She didn't answer. She was on a shift. He called twice more. Nothing. He sat on his bed, back against the wall, lights on, and waited for 2 a.m. when his mom would come home. He heard the front door open at 2:07 a.m. He ran out and hugged her in the hallway and started crying before he could even explain why. His mom believed him immediately. She didn't say he was dreaming. She didn't say he was exaggerating. She walked to the window, looked out, and then looked at her son's face. She called the non-emergency police line the next morning. An officer came by, listened, and walked the perimeter of the house. In the small patch of dirt near the front garden, right below Lucas's bedroom window, there were footprints, deep ones, like someone had been standing there for a long time. The officer said they would increase patrols in the area. He also asked one question that Lucas never forgot. "What time did you usually see this figure?" "Around 1 a.m., Lucas said. The officer nodded slowly. These situations almost always happen late at night. Between midnight and 2 a.m., whoever this is, they know the neighborhood is quiet then. They know people are asleep." Then he looked at Lucas directly. "You were awake, that's why you saw it. Most kids your age are asleep by then. You got lucky, but you also put yourself in a position to be seen back." The figure was never conclusively identified. The police increased patrols. Lucas's mom installed a camera on the front of the house. It was never seen again, but 3 weeks later, a neighbor 2 streets over reported something similar, a figure standing outside their house late at night. They had a teenage son who also stayed up late. He had seen it too. And the week after that, someone was arrested near the neighborhood, not for anything violent, for trespassing, for entering private properties at night, standing outside windows. When Lucas heard the news, he sat in silence for a long time. He told his Roblox friends that night, "I think I was being watched, like specifically, because I was the only light on in the whole street." Then he replied, "Your room was a beacon, bro. You were literally the only one awake." Lucas still plays Roblox. He still loves it. He still stays in touch with Danny and his other online friends, but he has a rule now. Phone down by 10 p.m, lights out, every night. Not because his mom forces him, because he remembers what it felt like to be the only lit window on a dark street, to be the only person awake, to be visible when everyone else was hidden. The biggest lesson from Lucas's story is not that the world is dangerous at night, although sometimes it is. The lesson is simpler than that. When you stay up past midnight, you're not just tired the next day. You're alone. The adults who protect you are asleep. The street outside is quiet. And sometimes the darkness outside your window isn't as empty as you think. Lucas was lucky. He saw the figure before the figure found a reason to come closer. He never found out exactly what it wanted, and he decided he was okay with never knowing. If you ever play Roblox in a server late at night and you see a username that looks strange, a random string of letters and numbers, no profile picture, no friends, just close the game. Go to sleep. Some things only find you when you're the last one still awake. Lucas never found out what that figure truly was, and honestly, maybe that's for the best. If this story gave you chills, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and drop a comment saying lights out if you made it to the end, because the next story, it's even darker. See you there, if you dare.